Alright, so here I am unboxing a Keurig 450. So far all I've done is open it up, and there's been two little pieces of documentation. One of them is interesting. It says here that some of your older K-Cup packs might not work in your new brewer. Call this and we'll replace them fast and free. That's interesting. Obviously most of us know that at this point that a lot of the old K-Cups no longer work, but they're saying here that they'll replace them fast and free, so maybe I'll have to check this out. There's also a website, Keurig.com/oops. Maybe that's worth checking out a little bit later. Let's see, the only other thing that I've done so far is I've pulled out what is a 4-pack of carafes, I guess that's how you say it. There's 4 different flavors in there that I've gone ahead and taken a look at already, but alright, let's continue on. There's this really large instruction manual. I'm assuming that part of the reason that it's so large is because it has multiple languages in it, stuff like that. But alright, let's continue on here. This is the water filter. This one must come with a water filter. That's great. I don't need that right now, so put that over there. This, as you know if you've ever had a Keurig, this is a removable base. Pretty standard. I don't need that right now. Some foam. Don't need that right now. And there it is. Really nicely packaged. Here we go. We got another 6-pack variety of coffee and tea. Wouldn't it be pretty funny if you open this up and it was the old style of K-Cups? Nah, you can tell by the little silver border that that's not going to happen. So I don't need those right now. Go ahead and put that down there. Let's see. Let's go ahead and try taking off this wrapper. There we go. I guess that's about what I expected to see. It's really, really nice, really shiny. Everything is taped closed right now. Little piece of tape here, but this actually is supposed to flip up, so you can just pour some water in really nicely, as opposed to, I guess, having to remove the whole water container. I guess that's kind of nice. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna have to pull this out here. Hang on a second. Alright, check this out. So I was momentarily very concerned because all that the cord is here is this really tiny little piece of cord. But apparently it's at least somewhat retractable. See, I can pull that out there. I have no idea how far I can pull it out. I don't really want to pull too hard on the cord so as to break it or something, but that should be that should be enough. I'm wondering if there should be water in here before I do this. Let me see really quick here. Doesn't say on here anything. Doesn't seem to say any place. You can see a little bit of options here. Let's see if it'll focus a little bit better. Doesn't seem to want to focus on that picture too good. There it goes. But so you can see there's the well, anyways, if you could see it, there's a little ready button. I gotta say that this is the 450, and I was perhaps looking at reviews for one that was a little bit higher, but I gotta say that the screen is definitely looking smaller than I expected it to be. Not sure why that's not focusing any better, but whatever. Obviously you got open this up, remove this little orange thing before use. Guess that was just helping it to stick together or whatever. Not a big deal. Don't need that. I've seen people messing with this here a little bit. Look at that, yeah, it goes down. One of the things that I haven't seen anybody show whether or not it works, and it was something I was very curious about, was whether or not you could get my K-Cup to fit in here. Now, obviously, there's hacks and stuff that'll allow you to use old K-cups, and even some that allow you to use it, but no one actually seemed to test to see if this would fit. So, what I'm seeing right now is that there is not gonna happen. Not even remotely close to this fitting. They probably did that on purpose. You can see up there. Maybe you can see it. There's a couple of needles, but even if I try to hold this thing down here, if I try to even hold this thing down with my finger, I still can't get my K-cup to go in there. Even though it does move a needle to the side, it still doesn't fit. It still doesn't fit. You can wiggle it around a little bit, but there's no way you're gonna get that to close. So that confirms that suspicion. There's no way that you're going to get the officially licensed My K-cup to work. Now I have seen other people do it with, I think it's called like E-cup or Eco Cup or something like that. And they've gotten that one to work because it's the same size as a standard K-cup. But for right now, that's not going to work. So let's see what else we have here. One of the biggest complaints people had was that fingerprints get on it. And I can definitely see that I'm getting a lot of fingerprints on it, but you know, it's a metallic finish. What do you expect? You know, it's just like a cell phone screen. You slide it off and look. I mean, you probably can't see the fingerprints in the camera, but you see a little bit there. But I mean, whatever. If you're gonna get hung up on that, you got a lot more problems than anything else. Let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off some of this sticky stuff here. I don't need this piece. Whoa, check that out. Kind of an interesting finish. Got some tape back here. Go ahead and take that off. It's really stuck on there. Actually, it's actually inside of the, actually somehow taped inside of itself. That's nice of them. I guess they want you to know that you can take the whole thing off if you want to, apparently. This tape stuff that they got on here is solid. Very, very sticky tape. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can get this back on here. There it goes. So obviously you lift up on this little piece here and the whole thing comes off. It does feel like there's a little bit more going on, but I guess that's so you can take that off. Or you can just lift it up like this. Oh, look at that. It even snaps. That's nice. It's got a little clicking spot. So I'm going to pause the video and go ahead and get some water for this. Alright, before that, let's just take a look at what's still in the box here. Obviously we have the carafe, and I think this is it for what's in here. So it's pretty nice. Big. It's got a huge sticker that you're going to have to peel off. Yeah, otherwise it's pretty nice. Not really sure how you oh, there you go. Oh, it's got a nice solid seal. It's pretty deep. You have a nice little cup of coffee. I guess the idea is to have a whole pot of coffee. Let's see. Maybe I will go ahead. It looks like there's nothing else in here, just foam. Foam I don't really care about, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put that back together. I'm a little bit curious about this. Maybe I should install the water filter. Normally I use filtered water anyways on my stuff, but since this comes with a water filter, might as well use it, right? And then I guess for now I won't have to use water filter. I'm going to go ahead and pause this while I try to figure out how to do this. I've never used one of these before. Alright, so that was actually a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. First, you're supposed to soak this thing for 5 minutes, which is, you know, not a big deal. But trying to get this little bottom piece off here, this little bottom piece here is supposed to, like, pop off. Well, it took quite a bit of force and pressure to actually squeeze these things down and pop it off. I mean, maybe in the future it won't be, but that was a little bit much. So I soaked this thing for 5 minutes. I rinsed this off. You're supposed to do all this rinsing. Now, do you just put it in here? It's really actually pretty easy. And you can hear a little snap, just like that. Another thing, I don't know if you could see it too good or not, but there's a little dial here. And interestingly enough, on the right is when you are installing it, and on the left is when you're supposed to replace it. Now, if you ask me, I think that it should be the other way around, but whatever. I guess we're Chinese or something and read from the right to the left, but it's not that big of a deal. So I think that this is all ready and firmly locked into place, so that should be good. I don't think I'll need the instructions anymore. Apparently you are supposed to continue to descale your brewer even with that thing in there. Otherwise, there also is apparently the brewer itself can remind me to replace it and whatnot. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and fill this up with normal water. Normally I use some kind of like filtered water on it, but since I have that water filter already built in, I don't think I'm going to bother with going the extra 9 yards. So just a second while I fill this up. Alright, so what I have here is about 4 cups of water. This is a 70-ounce reservoir, supposedly. There's actually in there, you can see there's a max line and a min line. The min line is the minimum amount of water you should have for a carafe. So let's see if I can try to not make a huge mess here. I mean, obviously, they are 16 ounces in a cup, so 4 times 16 is 64, right? Sorry, my bad. There's 8 ounces in a cup, so naturally, there's only 32 ounces that I just put in there. It's not quite at the necessary amount for carafe, but I actually am not too concerned with that. I'm going to go ahead and just let it be. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in now. See what it tells me. Alright, plugged it in. First thing I can see here is a power button lighting up. Guess we can go ahead and push it. And we see it say, Keurig, welcome. Before we begin, lift handle and remove the shipping disc. Well, I'm already one step ahead of you, and I already went ahead and did that. So this has got a nice lifting feeling to it. Pretty nice. It is a locking mechanism in a couple of different spots. So we're good with that. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. More water, please. I did not expect that. I mean, sure, it's well below the min, but I just put in 4 cups of water. Alright, I'll be right back with some more water. Alright, so adding another 4-ish cups of water. See if we can get this light to stop blinking. Okay. That's 4 cups of water. It's still blinking. I'm assuming that means that it wants more water, but I'm in between the min and the max. So I'm just going to go ahead and see what happens if I click on the screen. Okay, there we go. It now shows that it is preheating. It's making some interesting sounds. So far everything seems very nice. I will notice that this has a lot more room in the water filter, this 70 ounces, than the ones I had before. I actually have a broken Elite Keurig. Part of the reason why I bought this one, but then we also had an office version of a Keurig that actually held a lot less water than this. So Alright, so here we go, still going. Clearly has a clear screen. So like, holding the camera, the screen looks pretty big, but in reality, like, I have pretty small hands, and that's just like the length of my finger. I guess give an example. I mean, here's the My K-Cup next to it, and the My K-Cup actually looks huge next to it. I guess another way to look at it, a better way, I do have a K-Cup here, actually. And the size of a K-Cup covers the entire screen. So on the K400, it is just about the size of a K-Cup. Not much wiggle room in either direction if you look straight on. Alright, so it is still preheating. Seems like it's taking a bit of time. Let's see. Look at it. Some other things. There's nothing in the back. There's no switches or anything to click on. This doesn't really move. Still preheating. Wow. Okay. Hopefully this preheating length is just the startup time, because my other Keurig would definitely already be ready. And I'm assuming this is just because it's the first time that it's being used. Oh yeah, I didn't really notice it taking the water out, but it clearly took down about an inch or two of water actually just filling it up initially. I should have used, maybe I should have used warmer water or something to speed up this process, but still going. Still showing that it's preheating. I heard someone on the internet actually say that this looked like a Trivial Pursuit game piece. I'd agree with that. Alright, so it's ready to begin. The screen is flashing, but it says lift to begin. Okay, well, if I lifted it, now what? Actually, it says just a moment. I'm guessing I'm just supposed to shut it. Alright, so what we have here is it says dispense hot water. Sure. And then I can choose to dispense hot water. I can do 6 ounces or 4 ounces, which kind of sucks that you can only dispense this little amount, because if I wanted to use a package of hot chocolate or something like that, or even to brew some tea, like, why would I want 6 or 4 ounces? I'm pretty sure you're generally supposed to add 8 ounces of hot water to something like that. Obviously, I could do 4 twice or something, but it is nice that I can do this. I was concerned. Let's go ahead and push the button. Dispensing, do not lift. I gotta say that the sounds that it makes is a little odd. I didn't expect it to, like, hopefully you can hear that in the video, but it's weird. It's like you can hear it like churning. Churn, churn, churn. So I did 6 ounces, and that makes sense, I guess. If you can see that, the water only goes up to about there. There's 8 ounce line, so that's pretty good. Doesn't feel very hot. Okay, it's definitely hot. So I guess that means that technically that's it, I guess. That must mean that it's good to go. So I can lift to begin. You know, it obviously did its thing. I do wonder if there's any way to like pop this out, because maybe it's in the instructions or whatever, but I do kind of hope that this will pop out, because otherwise it will get kind of grimy in there. Oh, another thing I'm noticing is that it is spilling quite a bit of excess water down there. Maybe not a ton, but definitely like a few drops. Yeah, I guess maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. So I close it. It asks me again to dispense water. I'm going to say no. This time I guess I'm gonna go into the information here. Obviously we'll try to change the clock. And the time right now is 4:17 by my watch. It is PM. So that was pretty what I expected. We could choose an analog or digital clock, but I'm going to go with digital since it's just quicker and generally easier to read. Wallpaper. So apparently you can change the wallpaper. Something was trying to tell me that that was just something that you could do on the 500, but I guess not. Otherwise, there's your other settings. Other than that, I think this about wraps everything up. It's apparently preheating again. Alright, well, there's your Keurig.